How did this little bit of Glasgow become a little bit of France, thanks to a little bit of Hollywood? Find out now in this episode of Astonishing Glasgow. For this episode, I've cycled down to Govan to explore the old abandoned graving docks. As you can see by the size of the fence and the barbed wire, you are really not encouraged to enter this site. I was lucky that this gate was open, but I do not advise you visit for yourself. The site is very overgrown and there are sharp hidden drops with deep pools of water at the bottom. Plenty of hazard to spoil your day. Watch this video instead and I'll explore the site on your behalf. A stone's throw away from the exhibition centre, the Science Museum and the Riverside Museum, it is incredible that this last remaining relic of Glasgow's maritime past has been allowed to become so derelict. The construction of the graving docks began in 1869, with Dock 1 opening for use in 1875. Dock 2 opened in 1886 and the largest dock seen here in action was completed in 1898. Built for the Clyde Navigation Trust to service and maintain their fleet of Clyde steamers, the engineering achievement to build this site should not be overlooked. It was clearly a source of great pride for the builders, as seen in this large engraving on Dock 3. The docks were still in operation until 1987, by that point carrying out work on large ferries, but they were to close before the end of that year. Sadly, after the shutdown of the commercial business, we have been losing features of the site. Within days of the site changing hands, the historic cranes, which were listed structures, were demolished against planning rules. When commercial activity ceased, it was immediately proposed that the docks should become the site of a new Clyde Ship Trust Museum. It was hoped that it would become the home of the Royal Yacht Britannia and have the facilities added to restore the Carrick, or City of Adelaide clipper ship which had been docked in Glasgow for many years. Instead, it was sold to a developer who had plans for housing. The Royal Yacht went to Leith, and after many years of neglect, the Carrick is now in Australia being restored. All of the buildings on the site have now been demolished or burnt down in arson attacks, apart from Pump House 1, but that has been reduced to nothing more than a shell. The pump house for Dock 3 is now nothing more than a very deep hole in the ground, hidden in amongst the bushes. Remember when I told you about the dangerous hidden drops on the site? Wouldn't fancy falling in here. How are you all with heights? To get to this part of Dock 3 I had to cross the top of the gate, which is rickety enough to give Indiana Jones the willies. What an incredible view you get from here, looking back upstream towards the city. And how perfect would it be if the docks could become home to the amazing Queen Mary after her return to Glasgow? You can watch a film of her in her heyday, incidentally, from 1963 that was shot by my dad on Cinefilm. Just follow the link at the top of the screen, but maybe wait till the end of this video first. As you can imagine, the site is ideal for TV and film productions and has been used several times through the years, but its big moment of Hollywood stardom took place in 2019 when it featured in the Sam Mendes World War I epic 1917. In the film, Dock number 1 becomes a French canal that our hero must try and cross whilst under sniper fire. Pump House 1 was dressed to have a bigger tower and a place for the sniper to look down from. A broken bridge spanned the dock, and a lot of CGI was used to make the dock look like a canal stretching off into the distance. It might not come across in these clips, but these steps are incredibly steep and slippy, and the prospect of landing in the water at the bottom meant I was being incredibly careful to get these shots. If you want to see more film locations from Glasgow and around the world, visit my other website at rewoundandfound.com. Link is in the description and at the end of the video. So what now for the site? Well, plans for housing on the site have been turned down in 2005 and 2015. I seem to remember at one point a plan to build a block of flats on stilts inside Dock 3. There were plans for a heritage site in 2016, but these stalled. In 2018, plans for 750 homes on the site were turned down thanks to the work of the Govan Docks Regeneration Trust, and the latest proposal, as of September 2020, would see the site looking like these drawings, with housing plans cut right back to save the original fabric of the site, as well as bringing these docks back into use as permanent moorings, commercial premises, and more excitingly as a functioning heritage site overseen by a charitable trust. Feasibility studies have already been carried out, and dock number 1 was emptied for the first time in over 20 years to check the condition of the dock and the operation of the gates. So with any luck, we will see this piece of Glasgow's maritime history saved, especially as so little evidence remains of what was once a huge industry on this part of the river. Thank you very much for watching, and remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Check out my social media on Facebook and Instagram if you want to get in touch, and hang around to the end for more videos that I think you might like. See you next time on Astonishing Glasgow.